Hi guys! Today I'm going to talk about one personal experience that I lived here in China. I've been working in China for more than 16 years for a company, a French retailer called Carrefour. I've been working with them in different places in China, in Shanghai, in Harbin in the north east of China, very near Russia, close to Vladivostok, like 1 hour drive. Been working in Beijing. I've been working in the south of China, in Haikou, in the island of Hainan, and I've been working in Chengdu. Was my last position for Carrefour. So every time I moved from one city to another, I had to sign a contract, a local contract. So in Shanghai, I signed a Shanghai local contract. In Harbin, I signed a Harbin local contract. In Beijing, the same Beijing contract. And then Haikou, another contract. In Chengdu, another contract. Because as a foreigner, you need to reapply for a city visa. It's not a China visa. You have a city visa. You can only work in that city. That's the way they deliver their visa, and the visa is applied by the company. They help you to get the visa at the local level. So what happened is I've been very loyal, working hard for the company. They asked me to move to other cities to help them develop the market of China, so I was very dynamic and helpful because the values I had from my education, from my mom, what she gave me was to be always faithful, loyal to the people. And I never accepted any offer from other companies, so I never made a change. Maybe that was a mistake, but I was very loyal and very honest in the way I worked for the company. And by going to different places throughout China, you understand that I was very dedicated and working hard to help them build their brand in China. So what happened is one Chinese company, the name is Suning, they purchased 80% of Carrefour China operations. So Carrefour France, they just kept 20%. And at that time there was a very big change. The Chinese company, Suning, they wanted to get rid of all the foreigners. So the first step was to ask all the French with a French contract to not come back to the office, to stay at home. So from one day, they just had to stay home. We were not able to come back to the office. But I signed a local contract, Chinese contract, so I had to keep working because I had the contract signed by Carrefour in China. So I kept working in Carrefour, going through the transition, etc. But still, they wanted to get rid of all the foreigners, and they had to find a solution to get rid of me. So what happened is they asked me to transfer from the city where I was, Chengdu, to move to Shanghai. I knew that there would be that was a kind of trick, so I asked, why you want me to go to Shanghai? For what's the purpose? What is the position? They say, we cannot tell you the position. Just move to Shanghai and we talk later. Of course, I said, no, I want something written, because they called me by phone and said, no, you write this down and then we discuss. So what happened is they sent an email, official email, to all the Carrefour employees, like thousands of people, to let them know that I will be transferred to Shanghai for a position that will be announced later. I was shocked. And 5 minutes later, my email account was frozen, and they get rid of me from all the working chat group WeChat group and all the other platforms where we have some conversation among employees for some topics. So I get kicked out from all the groups. I was in shock, so I didn't understand what happened. So I went back home and I created an email address from an outside mailbox, and I sent an email, say, how come you didn't get my approval and you asked me to go to Shanghai? What is the position? They insisted for me to take the plane to go to Shanghai within 4 days. And I had to move to Shanghai and I had no choice. I had to leave the office in Chengdu and fly to Shanghai. The problem is that period of time was one of the worst time ever. It was just the beginning of the COVID virus that broke in Wuhan. It was like just 1 month. Everything was blocked. So I was worried about this. I said, I'm gonna take the plane on this peak virus time. I said, yes, you need to take the plane and come to the office. I said, okay. They booked a flight for me. I took the plane on a Sunday night, on the Monday morning, and I arrived in Shanghai on Monday. When I arrived, they waited for me at the hotel, and they said I had to spend 14 days quarantine. It means 2 weeks I had to stay in the hotel to make sure that I didn't have the virus. It was the local city rule. Everything was closed. So what happened? I had to spend 2 weeks closed in the hotel room. I was not able to go out. The food was delivered to my door in my hotel room. So I had to eat the food and stay in my room. I could not go outside. It was a very difficult time for me, 2 weeks blocked in the room and always thinking and didn't know what to do because I had nothing to do. Once the quarantine finished, I was able to go back to go to the head office in Shanghai to meet with them. So I went there for the morning and they made me wait for 2 hours. So I had to wait, no problem. Then 2 hours later, the HR director came to meet with me and he brought with him one lawyer and one person to translate. They didn't need the translation because I can speak Chinese. I was shocked. I asked them, why do you bring a lawyer here? I was not supposed to discuss about the position and the purpose of me coming to Shanghai. I said, no, we want you to sign a new contract. So why I should sign a new contract? Then I understand it's because when you change a city, you have to sign another contract. So okay, I told him, let me see the contract and I need to know what is the position and all the clause in the contract, because it's written that if I make this kind of mistake, I will be fired, whatever. And I said, since you have a lawyer, I also should have a lawyer. The HR director said, okay, no problem. You want to take a lawyer? Go and take a lawyer. So I asked him if, okay, I can take a lawyer and we can meet another day. He said, okay, I give you 1 day. The day, tomorrow you need to come back. You need to sign the contract. Otherwise, starting from tomorrow, every day you delay will be counted as vacation days. So I said, okay, we'll split up. The same day I went, I found a lawyer. I paid the lawyer around 6,000 renminbi. It's roughly less than 1,000 euros. And the lawyer came with me, and he told me, yes, it's true that that's the local rule. You should resign the contract because you moved to another city, and in order to do your visa, your working visa, you need to resign the contract. So what happened is, I brought the lawyer with me, and they blocked the lawyer. They didn't let him to come inside. Say, no, you cannot come inside. You're not an employee of Carrefour. Please go away. And I was shocked. I said, you said, okay, I should bring a lawyer. I could bring a lawyer. So I brought a lawyer. And I paid the lawyer already. And they insisted. They said, no, you cannot let the lawyer come in our office. It's forbidden. So I had to go by myself. I said, okay, I'm gonna go by myself. And I knew that I had to sign the contract. Then I met again with the HR director and the lawyer again. He came. And I said, okay, can you tell me the position? He said, you sign the contract first and I will tell you the position. All right. So I signed the contract and I gave him the contract. And later on I said, okay, what is the position? He told me, no, I'm not going to tell you the position. You go back to your hotel. I said, yeah, but what's next? Go back to your hotel and we will tell you next. All right. So I went back to the hotel and I waited for, I think it was like 3 days. And I received one letter saying I was fired. I was like, what? I just signed a contract. And a few days later, they fired me. I tried to call them. They didn't want to answer the phone. I went to the office to meet with them. They blocked the entrance with some security people. So I was not able to meet with them. And I said, okay, if it's like this, I had no choice. I had to find a lawyer and deal with this thing. I found a lawyer. I explained him my case and he said, okay. I had to pay another, it's like roughly 7,000 euros. For me, it's a kind of a budget for that. I said to the lawyer, is there a chance to win the case? He said, I cannot guarantee, blah, blah, blah. You know, the lawyers talk. I said, okay. But anyway, I had to go through that. And I had to go and claim that it was not fair for firing people like that. So in the letter they gave to me was like, I left by myself. I worked in Carrefour for less than 1 month. It's only 2 weeks. I've been working for 16 years, but they just ignored everything because the new contract is 1 month contract. And I forgot to mention to you that in order to renew my visa, they asked me to give them my working permit from Chengdu. They told me, okay, you have to give us your working permit and we will reapply for you a new visa, a new working visa, and we need to reapply a new working permit for you. So I trusted them. I gave them my working visa. What happened is they canceled my working permit, my working visa, and they let me without a visa. So I was illegal in China without a working permit and without a working visa. I was not supposed to stay in the country. Anyway, I'm married with my wife is from Shanghai, so I was able, very difficult, go for different procedures to get my marriage visa. But before they asked me to go back to Chengdu to cancel my working, to cancel my visa and explain the situation, blah blah blah. So I'm not going to talk about this because that's not the purpose of the video. But they thought by canceling my working permit, I will be leaving China and that's it. I will disappear. I stayed here and I took a lawyer and I went to fight with this. So what happened is I went to court. Took 6 months, you know, from the beginning to go to the court because with the virus, etc., everything delayed. So by the end of the year, I went to court with my lawyer in order to say that this is unfair. The suing lawyer said clearly, very simple, this is a foreigner. He's not Chinese. The Chinese labor law doesn't apply to foreigners. The Chinese labor law doesn't apply to foreigners. I was like, what? I was working here for 16 years. I've been working in different cities. I've been signing many different contracts, not only in Shanghai, but in Harbin, Beijing, Haikou, Chengdu, again in Shanghai. And you're telling me that I'm not protected by the law of the Chinese labor law, even if it's written in the contract I'm protected by the Chinese labor law? You're not protected by the Chinese labor law. You're not Chinese. You're a foreigner. And by the way, you don't even have a working permit. Yeah, because you canceled my working permit. So what happened is the judge agreed with the suing lawyer. He said, sorry, it's true. You are a foreigner, and the Chinese labor law doesn't apply to foreigner. Even though you worked in China for 16 years, it doesn't apply to you. So what do you think about this? Do you think that is fair, that foreigners should also be protected by the China labor law? I paid my taxes every year. I've never faulted on this, as the law is the law. And I always thought that I will be protected by the law. That's why I accepted the Chinese local contract. So let me know what you think, and please write below on the comments what do you think about this, what are your opinions, and your advice if you have any. Thank you guys, and I'll see you on my next video.